Hey everyone. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to show you my new old 1985 Marlin Empress cab cruiser, I guess they called it. Cab cruiser because I think it's because they have a cab up front or a cuddy, whatever they call it, kind of new to boating, so kind of unsure, but let's get to it. So here it is. As you can see, it's got a cover on it. Have to have a cover pretty much all the time because of these lovely things that I park it under. Drop all sorts of junk on it. There's pine needles and pine cones, and during certain times of the year, these trees have a tendency to drop these little tiny beads of sap all over the place. Gets on the car windshields, you can barely see, so I figured it'd be easier to wipe off the cover than it would be to wipe off the whole boat. So let's get some of this cover off here. There's her name. It was Bonnie Blue, named by the original owner, I'm pretty sure. I think I'm the third owner. Like I said, I bought this from my brother-in-law, and I think he was the second owner. So I know that they were built in Oregon. The company was started in like 1975, and then it closed up sometime in the 90s or something like that. And I think some other company actually bought the Marlin name, but there's the Marlin sticker. It's in pretty good shape. I took some, it had a lot of mildew on it, still does, it needs to be cleaned off, but as you can see here, there's some pretty good mildew right there. But I took some Tilex to it, and with a little scrub, and this is what it turned out to look like. So it seems to clean up pretty well. We'll see when I get a coat of wax on her how she's going to look. Let's see. Oh, trying to figure out what type of wood this is. If anybody knows, it may be teak, I'm not sure. I want to refinish it because it's real rough, and it's got some algae or mold or something like that growing on it. So I'd like to get that refinished. So anybody can recommend a good product to do that. It's got some issues in the body. It's got some patchwork, things like that. It's got another, I guess they call it swim deck or something like that on the other side here that I took off earlier. And I'd also like to know if there's something that I can put in these holes as I'm screwing it back on to seal those holes up. That looks like they put some type of Permatex or red sealant or something like that on there before to seal that up, but I'd like to get it maybe sealed up a little better. Outdrive, I think, is what they call an Alpha 1. I think. I don't know, because there's no stickers, but it doesn't have the little loop on the top. It has just the flat top to it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to do some work on this, it looks like. Because as you can see in here, that has a nice hole in it. And when the actual outdrive is in the up position, this bellows, which I think is the one for the exhaust, has a giant hole in it. So outdrive is going to have to come off. I'm going to change the oil in it. Gimbal's going to have to come off so I can get, I guess, to the bellows to change those out. Oh, and one of the positioners, I think that's what it is, like this guy over here that has this lovely little electrical piece on it, is not missing. I took it off, but the wire is broken. I don't know if you can see that, but the wire is just broken off right inside there. There it is. So I think I'm going to have to fix that so that my gauge works up on the dash for it. But from all the videos I've looked at and everything, it looks like taking this little guy off is not too bad. Oh, another question. This little skeg, I guess, here, I don't know if that is supposed to be lined up with anything. If it is, it's definitely turned the other way, or a little bit to the right there. So I don't know if I need to undo these screws here and line that up to the rest of the Outdrive. Okay, take some more of the cover off here. Put the camera down here for a second. Okay, trailer's not in too bad a shape. I think I have to do some work on the bearings there. They're looking a little trashed. Wheels need to be cleaned up a little bit. It's doing a little surface rust here, but I think I can sand that down and then give it a good coat of paint. All the lights work except for just one of the little lights in the back. The lovely surge hitch doesn't surge anymore. It's pretty trashed. So that's definitely going to have to come off. And I found another one on e-trailers or something like that that has a direct fit. But this one was welded, so I'm going to have to cut those welds off right there. And then maybe mount it with the screws, I'm not sure. Let me see, give you a big shot of it. So it's got a nice rail front deck here. Yeah, you can see some more of the lovely mold and mildew that's on there. Oh, I got a little crack in this windshield, and I'm not sure where or if anybody makes windshields for these guys anymore, but yeah, you can see that it's pretty trashed after a lot of years of use, I'm sure. It's got dual tanks. Somebody says it'll hold up to 70 gallons of fuel. There's a tank on the starboard and the port side both. All right, let's jump inside here. Yeah, it's got, looks like a handrail here, tie-down rail. Looks like it may have had one also in the back, but I don't know because I haven't seen any pictures of one. So if anybody knows if there was an actual railing in the back that possibly had this wood on it, let me know with a post. The ski hook is pretty rusted out. I think I'll have to take that off and get it re-chromed. Alright, climb inside here. So, the cabin's not too bad. Everything works. Gauges work. Still have to check the fuel gauge because I don't know if the actual fuel sending units work or not. I know that the power trim thing doesn't work because as you can see here it says up when it's all the way down, but I don't know if that means just because I don't have the key in it. Don't know if the oil gauge works. Did take it out for a test drive, ran really nice on the lake up in Oregon. Let's see, seats fold out. They got a little space here for stuff. Needs to have a good wash and a good cleaning, good vacuum. In here is a cooler. So you can put your Coke in and some ice, and it's got a little drain vent that goes down into the bilge. On this side again, another little space for putting things. In the bottom of the floor here is the ski vault, and you can see I've got some carpet issues there, so I'm going to work on getting those fixed up. Probably use that spray on 3M stuff that I've seen people use on different videos. It looks like I may have some dry rot here, so definitely may have to take a look at that and see what's going on with that. So I may have to take some of this stuff off, take a look at it. Yeah, as you can tell, yeah, look at that. First time I've seen this, but that's okay. I knew it was a older boat, and I knew I was going to have to do some stuff on it. But yeah, as you can see here, that's pretty trashed. So I may have to take that apart, fix that up. I definitely will take that apart and fix that up. Over here is the little cuddy cab. And as you can see, it goes all the way at the front. It's got a couple of windows on each side. You can see it's sagging a little bit. The roof, carpet on the roof sagging a little bit. Not too bad. I think I can put that back up with some of that spray-on glue. And then it's got a little port here that you can open up. And I don't know, I haven't opened it up. Let's see what it does. Probably this guy here. Ugh. Hard to do with one hand. Ugh. Put the camera down real quick. See if I can open it up here. Yeah. So yeah, looks like it opens up. You can see daylight out of it. Kind of cool. This has a nice cushion to it here, so you can kick back in. It's got a stereo system that kind of just sits right there. You can find a way to install that somewhere, and it works, but definitely needs to be installed. It's running a 15 pitch prop now. I think this is a 20, a little trashed, and then this is a 17 inch or 17 pitch prop, and you can see he said, oops, that is a owie. So I don't know if those can be fixed or what, but it's on every single one of them. He said he just forgot to, didn't know how close the ground was when he was pulling into a dock one day or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. If anybody knows if there's somebody out there that can repair this stuff, let me know. A couple of seats. It says it can hold 3 adults and 3 kids, or 5 adults. So not a lot of room back here, but definitely enough to be comfortable and cruise around the lake. Alright, let's open up the engine bay here. So there's the engine. 260. I'm assuming that it's a 350. Chevy motor. But it's in really good shape. Runs really well. There's that tube that goes from the ice cooler down into the bilge. Still a little too cold up here in Big Bear Lake to go running the boat. The season's open now. You can run boats on the lake, but still a little chilly at night. Plus I've got a little work to do on this before I do anything else. Gonna go down to West Marine this weekend, pick up a bunch of oil, change the engine oil, go down and get some lube, cleaner, wax, little miscellaneous parts and pieces that I'm gonna need. Down in the back there, I don't know if you can see that, but that's I guess it's a Perco. This thing has 2 batteries, one on one side, one on the other, and you can turn them off, use the first battery, use all the batteries, or turn it to number 2, which I'm assuming is use the second battery. So that's what that is. Blower back there. I did feel something way down in the bowels here. I'm not sure if I can get it with the camera, but somewhere down here there's something that's loose, and I'm not sure what it is. It's that thing right there. So I'm going to take a look at the video when I'm done and see if I can see what that is, but I don't like that hanging around there, so I really want to figure out what that is and get it back on. Looks like there's a nut right there that's loose, so I'll try to fix that up before I take it out. Up the opposite side, there's battery number 1. That's kind of how the whole engine bay is filled out. Oh yeah, definitely going to have to replace some of the vinyl too. What my brother-in-law told me is that when it was sitting up in Oregon, it got cold one night, and then they had a really nice hailstorm, and the hail just trashed this colored vinyl. The white stuff is okay. I'm going to try to use some magic eraser on that, see if I can get this to get a little bit whiter. It's pretty stained, as you can see. But if I can get a little whiter for this season and have a little fun in it, and then next season maybe get a whole new set of covers and everything for it, and get it reupholstered. Kind of like the blue and the white. It's a nice color combination. But like I said, it's pretty solid in the back, in the front. Anywhere I step, I don't have any problems with it actually sinking. So here's that other sensor and the broken wire. So I'm gonna have to figure out, looks like it was broken once before and patched in too. I have to figure out if I need to get a new sensor or if I can just wire this one back in. There's the second battery. Batteries still hold a charge, so that's pretty good. I'll have to replace any of that. There's the trim system there. That's all solid in there. There's no problems with that. I could actually get into these side spots. There's no give on any of this stuff. So I think I'm hoping and I think that the transom and everything else is still in good shape. It's hard to get down there and really see, but yeah, I hope it's still good. If it's not, I may be watching more of Frisco Boaters videos and having to pull the engine out and do one of the major rehauls. And if I look down here, no real issues here. That's all pretty solid there, as you can hear. And way down here, that's really solid. So as far as I can tell, it looks real good. I'll come back and do the screwdriver test later and really start pounding on it and see if I can poke holes through anything or not. That back in there. captain seat. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's the first large boat I've ever had. The other one that I have is right over there. It's a little Gregor fishing boat that I bought for like 400 bucks. But once I bought it, I didn't realize that the engine, little outboard, was going to cost me almost 1,500 bucks to put on there. So never got that on the water. But I'm hoping to have a whole lot of fun with this one. That's about it. If there's any specific things anybody wants to see, let me know. Put a post on the thread and I'll do some close-ups of it and repost that video. Alright, thanks, and we'll see you later.